Hello, welcome back to Betwise Network. In this video, I will be sharing with you a little trick or strategy on how you can select first half under 1.5 goals. All right, so as you can see on the screen, I have a bet slip with 5 accumulators. All right, 5 different games, and it amounted to 3+ odds. And if you pay close attention to the markets, it is first half under 1.5 goals. The first one is 1.19 odds, which happens to be the game that did not go through and made me to lose this ticket. And then we see the next one, first half under 1.5 goals, 1.29. The next one, first half under 1.5 goals, 1.26. The next one, first half under 1.5 goals, 1.25. First half under 1.5 goals, 1.25. And you can see that it was just the smaller odd, which is 1.19, that did not go through, because nobody expected Libya versus Cape Verde to produce this amount of goals. We expected Cape Verde to win this game yesterday, or under 2.5 goals, based on normal prediction. All right, and by the end of the day, they had to do this. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you these little tricks that you can use, and I will want to state before we go fully into the video that this trick works, and if you use it judiciously, you are definitely going to make a lot of wins out of this little strategy. All right, so all you have to do for me this morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of the day you're watching this video, is to pay attention, watch the video through to the end. Do not skip, because if you do, you miss vital points. All right, and like the video, subscribe to the channel to Betwise Network for more of this kind of content. All right, so for today's illustration, or how I'll showing you how to get this bet slip, I've already accumulated 5 games in the bet slip, and these 5 games are giving us 3.60 odds. All right, they are giving us 3.60 odds, but if you want to maintain maximum win with this particular strategy that I'll be sharing with you, I advise you combine just 2 games in a bet slip. And if you combine just 2 games in one bet slip, you're having maximum of 1.50 plus odd, 1.50 plus odd. And sometimes in some cases, when you combine 3 games, you'll be having definitely 2 plus odds or 2 odds. All right, and you can use this strategy when you combine them, get your 1.50 plus odd, find other games that you feel that can give you up to 2 odds, and add on the bet slip. You will be on your way to having constructed a good bet slip for yourself. All right, but that notwithstanding, my recommended way of using the strategy is to combine just 2 games. All right, I combined 5 games in this bet slip because I'm using it as an illustration, so you see how it is. All right, but definitely I'm going to be playing it. But if you want to be taking the risk and combining 5 games to get that 3+ odd, you're welcome. Be my guest, and definitely you should stake responsibly. All right, so I'll be starting with how can we get these games, how can you do it. All right, so the first thing to do is you come over to those of us who use Sportybet. But if you're not a Sportybet user, you can as well use Sportybet as a tool. Let's say you're using 1xBet, you're using BetKing, you're using NigerBet, you're using NairaBet. I don't know, do we still have NairaBet? So you're using any of the bookmaker, 360, whatever bookmaker you're using. All right, you can use Sportybet as a tool for this particular strategy. All right, you don't necessarily need to bet with them. You can just use it as a tool and go over to your own bookmaker to execute the final selection. All right, so the first thing to do is to come over to Today's Football, where you see all the games they have for the day. All right, and the first thing you should be looking out for is for games that are competitive games. Now, how are you going to know competitive games? Like cup games? Yes, most of the time we tell you avoid cup games. It works very, very well in cup games, because in cup games you see the 2 teams being careful. All right, they are trying to catch each other off guard. All right, so these are competitive games. Like this qualification, now we are having qualification, World Cup qualification in different continents. Now these are competitive games. When you see 2 strong teams playing against each other, that is a good signal All right. Another thing you should also look at for is for leagues that have the ability to score low. Leagues like the Argentina Primera, Paraguay, Brazil, Colombia, Italy, Serie B. All right, Italy, Serie B, and these are leagues that produce low goals. All right. So, but the first thing, like I said before, is to spot games that are very, very competitive in nature, where there are two strong teams, where there are two teams that can't score. All right, and you'll find out in a moment. Now, I've selected 5 games for today's illustration, and that is how we are going to be. Those are the games I'm going to be using. All right, and I'll show you what I mean. So I will start with the first game. Now I have this qualification game, World Cup qualification game between Burundi and Kenya. That's Burundi versus Kenya. Now, you can decide to check their other statistics, but we are not going to be doing all of that. All right, we're not going to be doing all of that, but you can take a step further to further cement your judgment on whether you should select any of the team or any of the game to produce first half under 1.5 goals. Now, the first thing you're going to point or look at is to see if that particular match has over 0.5 goals, and the over 0.5 goals should be between 1.09 upwards. 1.09 upwards. If we have something like that, then it's beautiful. Over 0.5 goals should be between 1.09 upwards. All right, and now we are making under 1.5 goals for first half, so we should be looking in that category. So you come over to the goals section. When you come over to the goals section, then you head on straight to the first half goals for both teams. Now we see first half Burundi to score over 0.5 goals is at 2.25 odds, and for them to score 2 goals in the first half is at 6.70. Now, while Kenya to score over 0.5 goals is at 2.35 odds, and over 1.5 goals in the first half at 7+ odd. Now, it is not as if that these two teams cannot score 2 goals each during the first half, but the possibility, it is difficult. Right, it is possible, but it is difficult for these two teams to produce over 1.5 goals during first half, considering their odd size. All right, because we are using the odds here as a yardstick or as a tool to our judgment. All right, now amongst the two teams, one of the team must have a higher odd against the other. Like in this situation now, we have Burundi to score over 0.5 goals at 2.25, while Kenya to score over 0.5 goals is at 2.35. Now, you can see the difference in the odd size. Now, Kenya, the possibility for Kenya to score over 0.5 goals for first half or in the first half is way more difficult than Burundi to score over 0.5 goals in the first half. Now, and you can see the difference in the odd by 10 decimal points. All right, this is 2.25 and this is 2.35. all right, by 10. All right, the difference is 10. The difference there is 10. So the two teams, one of them must be having an odd that has up to 10 or more odd difference. 10 or more odd difference. Now, this is what I mean by 10 or more odd difference. You see, Burundi to score, I'm taking my time to do this, Burundi to score over 0.5 goals is 2.25, and then Kenya to score over 0.5 goals is 2.35. Now, if you add 10 to that of Burundi, that means it will become 2.35. You understand? Now, so because there might be a situation that Burundi, maybe due to something during the first half, lack of concentration, Burundi can score 2 goals. And you can see that for Burundi to score 2 goals is at 6.70. All right, and that is why one of the team must have a 10% difference or more, not below 10, but 10% difference or more to score over 0.5 goals during the first half. All right, so yeah, so that is another point to take note. And then the next thing to do is to come over to the half section. where we are going to check the first half over under section. Now, for over 1 goal, we have 2.20. For 2 goals to happen in the first half, over 2 goals is 7.10. And for over 1.5 goals, it should be between 3.10 and above. All right, 3.10 and above, and over 1.5 goals to happen should be from 1.50 and above, but it works well from 1.51, 1.52. Sometimes you see 1.54 or 1.55. When you're having options like 1.55, then that's a boom. It definitely should happen like that. All right, so over 1.5 goals to happen during the first half should be between 3.10 and above, 3.10 and above, and for over 0.5 goals to happen should be between 1.50, 1.51 and above. All right, and based on these instances, you can select your 1 point under first half under 1.5 goals. All right, and that is what led to me selecting this particular match, Burundi versus Kenya, for first half under 1.5 goals at 1.30. Now we are going to go through this thing on the other remaining 4 matches. All right, so following the same procedure, Mozambique versus Guinea, this is a competitive game. All right, remember, this is football, anything can happen. I told you the first thing to check out for is the over 0.5 goals. That particular game you want to use for your first half under 1.5 goals must have over 0.5 goals between 1.09 and above. And for this particular example, we have Mozambique versus Guinea having over 0.5 goals at 1.10 odds. All right, and the next thing we are supposed to check on is the goals section. Over 0.5 goals for the two teams, they can produce over 0.5 goals either first half or second half, 1.36 and 1.49, which was skipped in the other example. But we are going to go straight to the first half over 0.5 goals for both teams, and you can see for Mozambique to produce over 0.5 goals, that's a goal during the first half, it is capped at 1.20 odds, and Guinea, at the other hand, to score over 0.5 goals at first half or during the first half is at 2.50. Now, remember I told you that it should be from 10% difference and above, and you can see it clearly that Guinea to score over 1.5 goals, it's 6.40, while Mozambique to score over 1.5 goals is 6.40, and Guinea to score over 1.5 goals is 7.60. And you can see over 0.5 goals, the difference is there up to 30%. All right, 30%. It is possible. It is very, very possible that Guinea can, or possible that Mozambique can score 2 goals during the first 45 minutes. All right, and now the essence of going for games where the over first half over 0.5 goals for the two teams have a slight difference is because perhaps one team might score and the other team might find it difficult to score during the first half, and that is why we go for games that have 10% and above odd difference. All right, like in this instance, we have up to 30% odd difference, decimal point. Right, this is 2.20 and this is 2.50. Add 30 to it, to that of Mozambique, and it will be 2.50 versus 2.50. All right, meaning that they are equally matched, and then perhaps they can't even score during the first 45 minutes. All right, so this one is checked, 10% and above checked. We are done from this stage, and then we'll go over to this first half, to the half section, where we check for over 1.5 goals to happen at 3.40, which is beautiful, and over 0.5 goals to happen during the first 45 minutes at 1.54. Remember, I told you should be from 1.50 and above, and it works well from 1.51, 1.52 and above. All right, and that's being said, I have made my decision that it will turn out to be under 1.5 goals first half. All right, yes, and the odd is 1.29. Now, if you combine these two odds, the first game, which is 1.30, and this one 1.29, let's see. Combining the two odds, we are having a total of 1.68 odds. All right. Now, if we add another game, we might be having 2 plus odd. And with this simple strategy, you can just select 2 games and make a perfect 1.50 odds daily for yourself, or 2 odds. So let's check out the next example, and you see, so that you further understand what I'm saying. Now, I have selected this game from Brazil. This game is going to play by 11 p.m. Brazil, Serie B, which is one of the favorite leagues that I normally use for unders. All right, Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, these are the leagues that you can trust for unders most of the time. Now, this particular game does not fit in. Firstly, it does not fit in my criteria because I said it should be over 0.5 goals should be between 1.09 and above. Now, I intentionally added this game just to show you something. Football is unpredictable, all right, and sometimes it's might go the way you want it and will not also go the way you want it. So at the end of the day, this game might decide to play 0-0 full time, but I'm using a criteria which is over 0.5 goals should be between 1.09 and above. But I'm going to include this game in this particular ticket because I'm not using it. I'm just using it as an illustration. Definitely, I'm going to play it. All right. I'm just using it as an illustration. So you see for yourself. All right. So the first thing, this one did not go through. That's a bad here. And then we'll go over to the goal section where we have the first half for the two teams. Now, these guys, first half for the home team to score over 0.5 goals is 2.15. Away to score over 0.5 goals is 2.30, and that is plus 15% difference. All right, plus 15% difference, and remember the criteria is plus 10, so this is a check and we are done with this. And then we'll proceed over to the half section. Still, it does not fit. This is 1.48. I told you it should be 1.50 plus. All right, and this is not a check. This is 3.10, but definitely I'm still going to add this onto this bet slip at 1.33 odds. So we have the next game, Malawi versus Equatorial Guinea. Is a competitive match, yes, and you can see the odd size. Home to win as 2.75 odd, away to win at 2.75 odd, meaning that these two teams are perhaps very good or perhaps very poor. All right, so it depends, but that is not our concern. So the first thing, like we said, should be over 0.5 goals, 1.09 and above, and it has 1.10, which is a green. And then the next thing to do is to check the goal section. The goals section, first half goals section. Now we have first half for Malawi to score over 0.5 goals is at 2.35, and Equatorial Guinea to score over 0.5 goals is at 2.35. Now this is a tricky one. It's a very, very tricky one. It simply means that these two teams are having the same amount of strength. All right, it's either they will score during that first 45 minutes or they will not score during that first 45 minutes. All right, so this is a tricky one, and still I will add it onto my bet slip. Let's see the next one, which is the half section. For the first half goals, over 0.5 goals is at 1.55 odds, is a check, and for over 1.5 goals at 3.50 odd. All right, remember the criteria is from 3.10 and above, and now we have 3.50 for over 1.5 goals, and under 1.5 goals is at 1.28. All right, so this particular team meets my criteria definitely, because I'm considering the fact it's just first half over. And if you check out the goals and over section for full time, for Malawi to score over 0.5 goals is at 1.43, and Equatorial Guinea the same thing, 1.43. all right, so that notwithstanding, I'm still going to add these as under 1.5 goals in this selection. Now the odd is 1.28, so let's check. And now this is the final game, Botswana versus Uganda, a very competitive one. Uganda should be acing this game perhaps by 1 goal or a draw. All right, the first criteria is to check if there is over 0.5 goals from 1.09, and we have 1.11 here, which is a green. And then the next thing is come over to the goal section, and we are going to be going, heading over to the first half goal section for both teams. Now Botswana to produce over 0.5 goals is at 2.60, while Uganda to produce over 0.5 goals is at 2.25. And we can see that there is a 35% difference here in goal, meaning that on the other hand, Uganda is the most stronger team. All right, at the end of the day, they might be winning, or who knows, anything can happen. All right, but for the goal section, we can see that there is up to 35% difference in goal, and which is a check. Remember we said 10 plus odd difference. All right, and that one has been checked, and the next thing to do is to move over to the half section, and then we see that for over 0.5 goals to happen during the first half, it is at 1.58, and the recommended odd size should be from 1.50 and above, and we're having 1.58. Well, we'll decide after first 45 minutes, and 1.5 goals over 1.5 goals to occur in the first 45 minutes, is at 3.60 odds. All right, and based on those following facts, we are relying on first half under 1.5. all right, and now if I add this 1.26 to the other existing odds, if I should add it here, among the first one, 1.30, 1.29, 1.26, which is this last one, I'll be having a total of 2.11 odds. So with this simple strategy, you can be combining 3 games to just give you 2+ odd daily. And believe me, if you should do this 1,000 times or plus or more, all right, if you do it consistently, if we should do it consistently, it has definitely there will be losses on the way, all right, but the amount of wins outweighs the amount of losses. All right, let me know in the comment section if you want me to be giving you 2 odds in this style. All right, if you want me to be sharing 2 odds with first half under 1.5 goals comprising of 3 games, let me know in the comment section, and I will be providing that in my daily football prediction video. All right, comprising of 2 odds. So 2 games you can get 1.50 odd plus, and 3 games you can get close to 2 odd or more. All right, so thank you for watching, and I will really appreciate it if you take a time and test this strategy perhaps for 1 week, all right, and see how good it is. And I would also appreciate if you should leave a like on this video. If you have any question, please let it out in the comment section. And like I asked before and I said before, if you want me to be providing the first half under 1.5 goals bet slip every day on my prediction video, just to save you the stress of going through that every day for yourself, I will do that and add it on my daily football prediction video. Once more, you can see the result of the games that we have selected. All right, let me just book it and play it. I'm just playing the 5 of them, and let's see the ones that will not come through. They are 5 in numbers. All right, let's see the one that's will not come through. So let us see. So you can see the 5 games here. All right, these are the 5 games, and let's see the ones that will go through and the ones that will not go through. All right, so points to note and points to take: select just 2 games or 3, do not accumulate 5. I'm accumulating these 5 games just for illustrative purposes, and so you see the ones that will win and the ones that will not win. All right, and you see how good this strategy is. Please subscribe to Betwise Network and turn on the post notification. Don't forget to like this video and impute your own suggestion in the comment section. Peace and love. Bye.